217 Recovery. Yeah. It's the podcast you've been waiting for all day.
Chill.
You went to church, had dinner with your wife, or your girlfriend, or your mom, or by yourself, with your cat. Now you've been waiting for the podcast, and here it is. So, thank you for listening, and hopefully get some out of today. We're going to talk about relapse. That's what we're going to start with, and who knows where it's going to end up.
Who knows where it will go from there, because anybody that listened to our podcast last night,
it's probably our best ever. I mean, what we talked about incest. We talked about colored people running the streets of St. Joe.
Yeah, and when we say
St. Joe, Michigan,
we say colored, we mean red,
colored,
red, blue.
What do you think we meant?
Yellow.
That's colored people.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just specifying.
I don't understand.
Oh, okay, well, good. Anyway, so yeah.
Listen to that podcast.
Listen to that one, because I don't know how we got on the topic of what we did, but...
we should listen to it.
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah.
Maybe we should... It'll help us critique for the next.
Well, the cowboy didn't hate on it. He liked it.
Cowboy.
My old weatherman, the one that likes to comment.
Oh.
No holds barred.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Thanks, Guy.
Yeah. Thanks, Tyler. He's over in Portage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Portage. All right. I know Portage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so anyway, on the subject of relapse, where do you want to go with this, Corey?
Well, it used to make me mad when people would say, well, relapse is a part of it. Relapse is a part of recovery.
Mm.
You know,
how did that make you feel?
It's just mad. It made me feel mad. Like mad because A, I relapsed. B, they're bringing it up like it's okay to relapse, you know. But at the time, I was like, oh, it's not okay to relapse. I don't want to relapse. But I did. This is
being brought up to you then after you had relapsed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I relapsed many times.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, each time I would learn something new about myself or about the process of recovery and getting into a deeper trench with recovery, I guess you maybe could say, maybe not. But it was like the first time, you know, I was like, okay, that happened, not a big deal. But I'm not really sure. I mean, that was so long ago. I don't know how I really felt.
So long ago? What do you mean? How long? Give me a timeline here. Come on. So long ago, like 2 years ago?
Probably 4 years ago.
How long?
Probably 4 years ago to the day almost.
Okay, so 4 years. 4 years ago.
No, that was just after I got out of the hospital. I started drinking then.
But
not right when I got out, but I mean like from that point. So I didn't even start going to treatment or anything like that. Like I didn't even think I had a problem. I mean, yeah, as silly as that may sound, but
it doesn't sound silly because people with that struggle with substance use disorder don't think they have a problem. A lot of them don't, because it's coming to that acceptance point where realizing that, you know, maybe something's going on here that needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I love using the word stigma. I don't like what stigma stands for or what it is, but I like using it because it covers a lot. And again, the stigma of addiction, people, when they think of that, think of a character defect. They think something is morally wrong with them, or morally, ethically, or something about their character is wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just not true at all. It's like saying there's something wrong with somebody who has multiple sclerosis, or who has muscular dystrophy, or who may have cancer, you know, or diabetes, or.
But I mean, for me, there was something wrong with me, though.
Well,
I just didn't know what it was or how to admit that I was feeling any kind of way. Especially for men, I mean, we're taught, deal with it, you know, like, hey, well, you can't cry over that, you know, like, you can't have those emotions. You're a man, you know, suck it up.
Right.
So a lot of that for us, I think, is, you know, part of it, like, I just got to do it.
Right.
You know, I can't have those feelings, and so I drink. But, I mean, those things, though, they weren't addressed how they should have been. But yes, I mean, something was wrong with me. You're right. You know, just like, but not like I'm a bad person.
No, and that's what I wanted to clarify. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's why I wanted to clarify. Okay, somebody that's got some degenerative disease. Okay, obviously there's something wrong with them, but what I'm saying is there's not something wrong with them that's their fault. Okay. It's not a lack of willpower. It's not a lack of character. It's not a lack of a lot of things. And that's what's associated with addiction, with people that don't understand it. Oh, it's a lack of willpower. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a character defect. You know, well, you know, you can just stop. Well, you know, and it says, and I've heard it said time and time again, but one thing that really stuck out in my mind. And this was in a movie that I saw. It's called Pleasures Unwoven, which is actually very informative and very good flick. But addiction is a disease of choice. And that really broke it down. It is categorized as a disease because it's progressive, it's fatal. There are a couple other things that fall under that, it being a disease. I think there's 5 of them. I can't remember what it is, but it boils down to, you know, it goes past being able to choose. It's a disease of choice. You never heard that? You saw Pleasures Unwoven? No. Well, we're not getting paid to promote that, but I promote it. You know, I'm saying this anyway to promote it because it's a very informative, I guess, documentary that they show in rehabs that explains addiction from a physiological standpoint, proving that it actually is a disease.
Oh, is that the one with the dude in the desert?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I've seen that.
Yeah, you've seen it. Jeez, you were at Berrien Center.
Yeah.
We won't say where or what.
Yeah.
What establishment, but we'll just say Berrien Center.
It's really Berrien Springs.
Well, okay.
But they, but yeah, but it's just like we pointed out, I think it was last week or the week before, when people, or the one lady who shared her story with us on Facebook, you know, she was talking about the guy that came in and he was, you know, had a heart attack because he wasn't taking his medicine for his diabetes or whatever. You know, nobody says anything to him, but it's the same thing. I mean, say somebody goes out and, you know, is just very promiscuous, just has sex all the time, they catch syphilis. Mm-hmm. Is the doctor going to go, oh, I'm not going to treat you, get out of here, you got syphilis, I told you to quit humping around. Right. You know, and no, they're going to be like, oh man, you know, you got to watch where you put that thing, and they're going to treat them. They're not going to be like, oh, you mess around with some sheep out there, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's how syphilis got started.
I don't know, but I mean, Al Capone had it, and so I don't.
So technically, Al Capone, if you want to trace it down, because they say whoever you have sex with, you've had sex with everybody they've had sex with. So somehow, where down the line, Al Capone had sex with a sheep.
Oh man,
if
that's
my
gross
theory is right, I'm pretty sure it's like goats or no, I think it was sheep. I think somebody was having sex with sheep or something. They got syphilis.
Wow,
that's how syphilis was brought.
Really, that's disgusting. But that's gross.
Yeah,
I mean, sorry, that's just how. Not judging or anything like that, but at least it's treatable. So you know, but I mean, it's just very nasty. The fact where it goes untreated, it like kills your brain. It attacks your brain, and people don't get it treated. Go, cuckoo.
You've been checked though.
yeah, I've been checked for everything. I'm as clean as a whistle, but I don't really have anything to worry about. I don't put myself in too many crazy situations where I'd really have to worry about it. I don't think. I don't know.
Let's talk about Rob's sex life. Rob,
maybe-
when was the first time?
Maybe at one point there was a point in my life where things might have been a little questionable,
Yeah.
But I think everybody might go through that phase in their life at some point or another, But it's funny you bring that up, what you were just talking about, Corey, because the medical profession not questioning certain diseases or like you had brought up this whole syphilis thing, okay? Well, I just so happened to get a call, okay, from a therapist that I know, and they were extremely worried about a client, a past client that they had that had relapsed and was in the hospital. Now, this was last night. They were in the hospital, and this person was really, really intoxicated, and the hospital was telling the social worker that he had to check out. They weren't going to do anything for him. They weren't going to do anything for this person that needed help and was about to go into dementia tremens if he didn't get the help that he needed. And they were just going to discharge him from the hospital. And this was in Petoskey, by the way. I'm putting it on blast right there, just so, And that, I just was like, wow, that's really messed up. Well, it just so happens that one of the nurses that was working said that that this person could stay until their shift was over at 7 a.m. in the morning, so they weren't out roaming the street in the middle of the night, going through dementia tremens, and it made me realize, there is more to this than people lead on to believe as far as how the medical profession treats addiction, and it's funny that you say that because going over the fifth step in the meeting earlier, it was talking about the same thing, how there is no empathy for alcoholics or people that struggle with an addiction by a lot of people in the medical profession.
Well, they can't have empathy unless they've been there.
Well, there are a lot of doctors that have struggled with. I don't care what your profession is. I don't care what your socioeconomic class is. I don't care what you do. And it's finally being realized that this goes beyond anything. This is just, addiction does not care who it kills, who it gets a hold of. It just does, and it goes across the board as far as race, gender, like I said, socioeconomic status, demographics. It doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
But still, okay, I guess maybe sympathize is a better word.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no sympathy because those people, those people,
yeah,
if we put ourselves in their shoes, I'm sure the people that come in that are really drunk or on drugs or whatever, they're not in their right mind either. They're not the nicest people.
Yeah.
And when they probably feel, because I know when I've been in there, man, I know there's a couple times I don't really remember, but I try to be nice to them. Most of them are nice back, but you get the ones that aren't, like I was telling you the other day about that doctor in St. Joe when I was like, F this, and I was like, give me my stuff, and they gave me my stuff, and I left. I went back to my house, and then the cops came back to my house because they're like, no, you weren't discharged, and then you got to take you back to the hospital. And I was like, no. Like, they let me leave. I got my clothes on. Look, they let me go. And he's like, well, they didn't sign you out, right? That doctor, he was just being such a jerk, but I was not a good person to him.
Right.
And, so maybe they see enough of that, and they're just like, oh, here we go again. They're working, 12-hour shifts or something?
Right.
And
yeah, and I mean, I guess, putting it in that perspective, when they see enough of it and certain behavior, they probably do get a biased opinion.
And not all of us want to help,
Right.
Like, some of us just wanted to go back and watch the Cubs game. Right. Yeah.